Back in the halcyon days of the PlayStation 1 and 2, Naughty Dog were a company usually associated with the Crash Bandicoot and Jak and Daxter franchises. It was thus that it came as a surprise in 2007 where they released a 3D action-adventure game that would go on to be known as Uncharted. It was a game that didn't necessarily bring any new features to the table, but what it did exceptionally well, and it wasn't afraid to take the conventions laid out by other similar games and improve upon them to no end. With its tight gameplay and snappy dialogue, Uncharted proceeded to smash all expectations we had of it, and became the PS3's first killer application. Not content with being one of the best action games of 2007, Uncharted also showed the world just how high the production values could go on a video game. The visual side of Uncharted, Drake's Fortune, has been praised by many critics to the point where it hardly needs saying anymore, yet this is for a very good reason. When Sony first released the PlayStation 3, we were all made well aware of just how powerful a machine it was. But it was Uncharted that was the first game to truly demonstrate the graphical potential of the PlayStation 3. Uncharted's audio was also of a similar standard to the graphics. It had a stellar score that just really helped to evoke the emotions and increase the production values to no end, and the voice acting has become legendary to the point where Nolan North is almost an industry in himself. Combine this with the globe-trotting campaign story and some of the best dialogue we'd seen up to that point, with some great snappy one-liners to boot, and you had a really great single-player game that earned Uncharted's title as one of the best games of 2007. There is no doubt that Uncharted was a great game, but it also had its fair share of problems. Like all human creations, it had a few rough edges. Occasional cover glitches and some loose shooting mechanics prevented it from achieving the perfection it was so close to. There was also the issue of some horrendous grenade mechanics that, like most early games on the PS3, had 6-axis controls shoehorned into the control scheme to the game's detriment, just for the sake of it. But with these few loose screws to tighten, Naughty Dog had a clear direction they could set out in for their subsequent project. Fast forward to 2009, and Naughty Dog's next project was complete with the dawn of Uncharted 2: Among Thieves, a game that achieved ridiculous review scores across the board and was dubbed Game of the Year by countless respected publications. Uncharted 2 is still considered the pinnacle of the 3D action game genre by many. Among Thieves made the first essential move of correcting the past mistakes from Uncharted 1. There were more weapons, more moves, and tighter gameplay mechanics than ever before. They also fixed the damn grenade controls, though that was pretty much a given. They went on to include an even better single-player campaign, with twice as much exploration, twice as many plot twists, and twice as many lovely ladies, making for a stellar story-based single-player experience. They also did the unthinkable and managed to up the graphical threshold we saw from Uncharted 1 even more, with fantastic set pieces that were able to show off the game's outrageous graphics. Among Thieves will be considered one of the best-looking games for years to come. Naughty Dog went above and beyond the Call of Duty with Uncharted 2, also adding an impressive array of online multiplayer modes. In spite of the usual skepticism that many had, feeling that the multiplayer would seem tacked on, Uncharted 2's multiplayer was clearly a winning formula. It had the classic multiplayer game types you know and love, a lot of well-designed maps, and a very engaging leveling up aspect. There was also a multiplayer co-op survival mode. Thankfully, unlike a lot of games that have been ripping off Gears of War 2's Horde mode mercilessly, Uncharted 2 managed to weave the mode into its own universe and make it its own. Uncharted 2 has been heralded by many as the best PS3 game yet, and in some people's eyes, it's the greatest game of all time. With this in mind, what direction can Naughty Dog possibly take to improve the series further? What little we know of Uncharted 3, Drake's Deception, implies that it will be set largely in a desert environment. Whilst it's hard to imagine exactly how the general graphics of Uncharted 2 could be improved, a desert setting leaves a lot of opportunities for the design team to go absolutely wild on really complex sand and water physics and animations. If you think about it, it could truly redefine how we view physics engines in gaming if Naughty Dog can master the animations of flowing sand particles. And, considering how technically ambitious the previous Uncharted games were, I'm pretty sure they may be able to deliver on this. The only changes we know about so far that are being made to the gameplay in Uncharted 3 are from creative director Amy Hennig, when she states that gameplay tweaks will include enhanced backward climbing, automatic ammunition pickup, and the ability to fight multiple enemies at once. There have also been mentions of enhanced AI patterns that will allow enemies to form up into separate squads that will act independently of each other. If these changes go according to plan, there is absolutely no reason why Uncharted 3 won't be considered Game of the Year for 2011, just like Uncharted 2 was considered Game of the Year 2009. We're still at that beautiful point in the development cycle where we have so little information on Drake's Deception that we can just go wild with assumptions in the hope that they will come true. So what kind of things should be going into Uncharted 3, and what kind of changes should be made? With the single player of Uncharted 2 being so refined and balanced, I doubt there's a lot that needs to be tinkered within it. Add in a few more weapons, attacks, and we'll all be happy with more of the same. What could really be maximised on is new multiplayer unlocks and modes. The leveling system was great in Among Thieves, but Naughty Dog have the chance to capitalise upon it and make one of the best multiplayer experiences yet with Drake's Deception. Fingers crossed the multiplayer will also include a split screen option, though I'm not really holding my breath on that one anytime soon. That said, the game will supposedly focus more on Drake and Sully as they travel the world in its single player mode, so there might be a co-op campaign along the way. It may well be on the cards. So what kind of new features do you want to see in Uncharted 3? And do you think it will live up to the outrageous hype it's gained? Let us know in the comments section below. This is George Reith for GamingBolt.com signing off and wishing you happy gaming day in day out.